Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Once again being brought to you by Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated in association with AT&T Rethink Possible, La Cerveza Tecate con Carácter, and our host, the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. The judges scoring this contest are Lisa Jampa, Robert Hoyle, and Dave Moretti. The referee, Kenny Bayless. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing black with cream trim. His official weight, 141 pounds, with a professional record consisting of 11 victories against only 2 losses, and 6 of his victories coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Windsor, Ontario, Canada, Gorges, Gorges. His opponent across the ring in the red corner. He enters wearing red, trimmed in white and black. He registered an official weight of 142 pounds, and he enters the ring an undefeated fighter in 15 professional bouts. 11 of those victories coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Crawford.
Okay, gentlemen. Trunks are okay on both sides. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. On the caution to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up.
Welcome back to the Mandalay Bay Events Center here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan, and pleased to welcome you to TopRank.com on the undercard of the pay-per-view event coming up later on, the WBA Lightweight Championship. Brandon Rios can't win it, but Richard Abril can. And then you've got the WBO interim 140-pound title as Sergey Fedorchenko takes on Juan Manuel Marquez, and that should be a dandy of a fight. All right, right here, Terence Crawford is the guy in the red trunks with the black and white trim, and Andres Gorges is in the black and white. Gorges is coming off a loss, a majority decision to Albert Mensah in Burbank, Illinois, and Crawford is coming off a win over Angel Rios in Atlantic City. You can see how aggressive he is, and Crawford is a big banger. He's 15-0 undefeated. He's got 11 knockouts, and I think you're going to be seeing a lot of him on Top Rank Boxing. Gorges is 11-2 with 6 knockouts. He hails from Windsor in Canada. Talking about the guy in black now, he turned pro in June of 08, knocking out 6 of his first 7 opponents. But his last 3 fights have all been very close, split decisions or majority decisions. That's not going to happen against this guy. He's going to have to try and stop Gorges and get real. Gorges is going to have to get real aggressive. His last 6 fights have gone the distance, and he's 4-2 in those. His biggest win was in October of 10 when he won a unanimous decision over Leonardo Tyner for the NBA USA welterweight title in Auburn Hills, Michigan, outside of Detroit. But Terence Crawford, the scouting report on him is a good one. He likes to start fast. He's a pressure fighter. He's showing that. He's got a big right hand, a really good left hook. All 11 of his KOs have been inside of 3 rounds with 6 first-round knockouts. They call him Gorgeous Gorges, and he's a good-looking kid, a real good-looking kid. Terence Crawford looks like a guy you'd be afraid to meet on a Saturday night someplace, but he's a great kid. Tough-looking kid. The Gorgeous one is already bruised to his left eye socket. Stiff jabs. Sneaky right hand that time by Crawford. Big punchers, Crawford. He goes downstairs. He's very quick on his body. He gives you some side-to-side movement. Gorges does a lot of feinting, but not enough throwing of punches. He's got to get inside, use that jab. He waltzes in the kill zone without throwing the jab. And he's got a very wide stance, which makes it very difficult for him to get power in his jab. You know, if he were driving off that back foot, and stepping up into his jab, he'd be a lot better off. And because he's so wide, even his right hand looks awkward. So in spite of the fact he's had 6 knockouts in 11 fights, I would have to say they're against much less skilled fighters than himself. His left eye is real puffy and a big circle around it from the hands of Terence Crawford. There's the bell, ending round 1. A good round for Crawford. This is Crawford. 8 knockouts in his last 10 opponents. He turned pro with a first-round knockout over Brian Cummings in Denver. All 11 knockouts inside 3 rounds with 6 first-round knockouts. And here's Gorges from Windsor, Canada.
It's a fast-paced fight, intense. And his hands go in the body, come back up, break him when he's not ready. Deep breath. Doug? Yep, you got it. What you got to do is step in, Up jab.
Working the corners of Crawford, Issa Dieguez, Brian McIntyre, and Jackie Spikes. All right, here we go. This is round number 2. It's scheduled for 8. Most people don't think it's going to go that distance. And it certainly won't go that distance unless Gorges can change the way he's fighting. In other words, close up his stance. And now they've told me they switched it to a 6-round fight, and I appreciate that. So this is scheduled for 6, originally for 8. Timing is dictated on the undercard. We'll do 6 rounds, and we'll see if Gorges can hang in there for 6. There's a lot of feigning and posing. He's such a good-looking guy, he'd be a poster boy for boxing if he was a little bit better fighter. But the rugged-looking guy, Crawford, is the guy that can fight. Crawford fighting as a southpaw. Going with that right hand. He'll switch back and forth. Trouble when he fights southpaw, I don't think he's got quite as much power. He's able to be hit more, and he misses his punches. So I'd rather see him just stay as an orthodox fighter. He says to me he switches by design, but he's a natural right-hander and should stay that way. This is round number 2. It's scheduled for 6 rounds here in Las Vegas on the night of the big pay-per-view event. Remember, contact your pay-per-view provider if you want to see Brandon Rios and Richard Abril do battle. A lot of trash talking this week, and any time that Juan Manuel Marquez is in a fight, he's taking on Sergey Fedchenko, who's got a 31 record, and that should be a nice fight too. And that's all on pay-per-view coming up. My partners Brian Kenny, Rich Marotta, and Raul El de Monte Marquez will present those fights for you. Hard stuff on the inside.
Come on, keep working. You gotta keep working, Terence. There you go.
Looping right hand by Gorges. Gorges just, he's got the long arms, but he has no power in his jab, and I mentioned why. And when we show you the wide shot, we'll show you exactly why. That this guy, can't get power with his jab because his legs are just way, way, way too wide. Now watch this when they separate, and this will show you exactly what I'm talking about. Watch how wide his, go back to our tight shot again, but I wanted to show you just how wide those legs are. There we are. Now, if we stay right there, well, closing seconds now. See how wide the legs are? And so he has the reach and jab, so there's no power because he doesn't drive off the back foot. See that? Off the front foot. Great job with that camera, guys, getting that. Shows you exactly what I'm talking about. That's another Crawford round. This is Crawford. And watch the way he counters now. Up. Oh, man. Left hook. I mean, Gorges came in on him, and he just countered it so well. Now watch the wide stance that I was talking about. And you see what's happening when you see that. He's reaching for his jab, so he cannot have power. And then he throws his right hand awkwardly. It's almost like a slap, so he can't have power with his right hand. Now, in credit to him, in his 11 victories, he's got 6 knockouts, but they had to be against much lesser opponents than the ability of Terence Crawford. Crawford not rushing for knockout. He's just doing a nice job here. And his 15 wins, he has 11 knockouts, and most of them have come early. But he's in just nail him again with that right hand. And that left eye of Gorges is going to become a problem for him if this thing goes the distance. Back fighting right-handed, nice uppercut in that series of punches for Crawford. I really like what I'm seeing in Crawford. Looping right hand that time on top of that puffiness. Oh, you see Gorges comes in and throws and he hangs up. That's good. It's all right. He showed a bit of hand speed there. Let's see what he does. Now he still drags that foot behind. Kenny Norton used to do that, but Ken was so big that he got away with it. And it caused fits for Muhammad Ali many, many years ago. But other than Norton, I can't remember anybody that was successful dragging the hind foot behind him. Norton had such extraordinary upper body strength, he could get away with it. Looping right hand that time by Gorges. Kenny Bayless doing his usual great job in there as the third man in the ring. Double jab, not getting through. He wants to land that powerful right hand, does Crawford. Met Crawford this weekend. Very, very nice fella. Both guys working hard on the inside. Gorges might even get a little bit of a advantage on the inside with that series of punches. So, yeah, this kid's a tough kid. Long and lanky. From Windsor, Canada, just over the bridge from Detroit City, Michigan. Crawford very wide-eyed, seems to know what he's doing. He could use a little bit more movement and get better angles coming in. I like the way he bobs down, but I think a little more side-to-side movement, he'd be more successful with this tall kid, Gorges. But Gorges is 6 feet, so Crawford is 4 inches taller. And it's very hard to fight a guy that has a reach advantage and also a height advantage. But he's done well. Hard shots on the inside. Boy, this has turned out to be a tough fight and a good fight right now. Crawford getting the better of Gorges with 20 seconds to go in this, the third round. Stiff jab, stiff jab. You know why that jab was getting through? Because look at the style he's fighting at the end. He was fighting as a southpaw. And that's why Gorges' punches got through in that round, but it still wasn't enough. Crawford won the round. Lisa Giampa, Robert Hoyle, and Dave Moretti are the judges. 3 fine judges here in Las Vegas. In the corner now of the gorgeous one, Andre Gorges. Watch these guys on the inside now. They're tied up. Let's see what goes on here. Oh, he caught him with a decent left hook. Actually, Gorges got the best of him on the inside, I thought. That was a decent little bit for him, but that's about all he did in that round. Crawford doesn't really want to fight this great big guy with long arms on the inside. He wants to come in and get out and get his angles. He's been in and out and doing fine and throwing in the kill zone, but he's not getting great angles. And he fights a whole lot better when he fights right-handed than when he fights as a southpaw. He should stick to that. He's getting a little frustrated, and nice counter-punching now by Gorges. Gorges has hung in there. He's an awkward sort of guy, big, tall fella from Windsor, Canada. Looks like he should be playing hockey. He's got that nice hockey build. Actually, he's got a great build for a boxer, but fundamentally, he makes a lot of mistakes. Skipping now to his right. Crawford just walks him down and comes with his combination downstairs. Looks like that left eye might be cut. There might be a little slit over Gorges' left eye now. Gorges likes to throw that windmill shot. And he hasn't caught Crawford real hard with it because of the manner in which he throws it. When you throw that big windmill shot, it looks tremendous, but it doesn't have great power.
Come on, boy. Come on. There you go.
There's one that spun the head with the right hand. And
Elbow to the body.
Crawford admired that and wanted to do it again. Instead, he comes down with a liver shot.
Keep working.
That left eye of Gorges could be a problem before this is over. He's fortunate that it was cut to 6 rounds from the originally scheduled 8.
Move your head. Keep moving your head. You gotta move forward. Move forward.
Terence Crawford in the red trunks has outboxed this guy throughout.
Move it backwards. Now work. Work.
Decent work by Gorges downstairs there, but he's not doing enough to win the round with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. He's frustrating Crawford a little bit more in this round. Crawford comes off his feet to try and land a big hook. Crawford would just think right-handed and just do what he does with a little more side-to-side movement, he'd be better off. He's coming right in. He's coming right in. And this his corner tells him the same thing. Go ahead and move. Move to your right. The reason why is they want him in position to land a power shot on top of that eye. Problem is that Gorges has a couple of 3 inches in reach in that height advantage. He staggered him, and there he goes down to one knee. Caught him with the shot, and it was kind of a delayed up to 5 and 6. I think he'll be able to get up 7 and 8, and he does get up. He was caught by a shot that was a delayed reaction in the head, and down he went. He was smart to take that knee because he wasn't winning the round anyway. So now, let's see. With only 10 seconds could go, that left hook to the temple did a big job on him. And it causes the brain to crash into the right side of the head, and he just has to hang on. So that's a knockdown and a really good left hook to the temple, and we'll be able to show that to you.
Deep breath.
I've got it scored 40-35 going to the 5th round. We'll show you a couple of different looks of this now. Boom. Right hand, left hand to the temple. So he had the head going both ways. Boom. This is a strong punch there, left hand to the temple. Yeah, that was the one that took him down to the knee. Now watch the overhead shot of this. Watch the left hand. Boom. Right on the temple. And that gets the brain bouncing around inside the skull, and if it's not powerful enough, it causes just what happened there, a delayed knockdown, but severe enough. And we'll see if he can recover, because while his mind might be all right, his legs might not be all right coming to the 5th round. So a good job by Crawford dropping him with that shot to the temple, and he'll try to do that again in this round, I'm sure, to get that head spinning around. If he can stop him in the 5th. Oh, hard right hand that time upstairs. So right now Crawford is head hunting, and Gorges is on the move. Caught him with a solid right hand again. He's not going to be able to take too many more of these single hard shots to the head. And Kenny Bayless will keep a look on him. And Gorges really trying to hang on. His legs are not good right now. Gorges is in trouble. Couple more shots to the head and it'll be all over. Kenny Bayless taking a good look into his eyes because he is hurt. He's trying to get his legs back going. He's not interested in engaging right now. Now he waits. Gets nailed again. He drops him on his nose. And Kenny Bayless doesn't bother to count. He's knocked out. Again, a big shot by Crawford. You could see it coming because the legs weren't there for Andre Gorges. And right before it happened, Kenny Bayless was looking into his eyes. As soon as he saw him crack, he stopped the fight immediately. So whether they scored a TKO or a knockout is academic. It should be a knockout because he was knocked out and is still down. I hope he's okay. That big shot finished the fight. Terence Crawford knocks him out in the 5th round after winning every single round of the fight. Crawford is another guy you're going to see a lot more of. Now watch for the first right hand. You'll see this hurts. That right there. See that snap the head? He's hurt right here. He's falling all over the place. And Kenny Bayless realizes it. And watch Kenny's eyes. And this is the finishing series. Oh, man, that snapped the head. That's what they call a stem cell, when the head spins on the brain stem cell and it crashes the Oh, man, it crashes the brain heavily into the side of the skull, exploding into a knockout. And this guy is out. And Kenny didn't even bother to count. Look at this. Boom. Ah. Vicious shot. Kenny wanted to stop it and was looking for a reason, but he couldn't stop it before that because this is professional boxing. There he is. Terence Crawford with a big knockout victory. Okay, Lupe Contreras is standing by, so let's get the official timing.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big overhand right brings this bout to an end with an official time of 44 seconds of round number 5. Your winner, by way of knockout, still undefeated, Terence Crawford.
So Terence Crawford is a guy you're going to see a lot more of here on Top Rank Boxing. He's a very, very good fighter, and we look forward to see him again. We hope Andres Gorges is okay. He suffered a pretty hard knockout there. His record moves to 11-3. Crawford goes 16-0 with 12 knockouts, and that's why you're going to see more of him here on Top Rank Boxing. Very, very good fighter, and I look forward to seeing him with plenty of power in his right hand.